he was a Jet. He
Yeah.
knows what it's like to be. And I think the fans embrace that. Like, oh, he gets it. He understands. He's one of us.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We are very excited for our guest today. As always, I have to start by telling you, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Mike Catalana with you for this and back. A friend of the pod, a regular with us, because we play, the Bills play, the Jets twice a year. Jeane Coakley of SNY in New York. Jeane, welcome back to the show.
Mike, it's been great. How many years is this? I was just thinking about that.
I think it's probably 5. Yes.
6? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We always catch up during the games. We catch up when we see you at Combine and all those different places. By the way, we are, okay, so you are getting the sneak peek at our view of our new Connors and Ferris podcast studio. You were just seeing the small portion of it. When we do our podcast coming up on Thursday for all the Buffalo Plus viewers, you'll get a chance to see the whole thing. The layout is different. Dan and Jenna will be on the couch over here. The old man gets his chair by himself. That's the way it works for us. So that's what we have going on, but a little sneak preview.
Well, it was nice because I texted you before. I was like, nice studio, looking nice.
Yeah, here we go. So Connors and Ferris coming through for us. All right, let's talk Jets. Yes. Let's start bigger picture. And then we want to talk about what we saw in the game against the Steelers. But let's talk bigger picture. I want to know what Aaron Glenn is like. I mean, you've had a lot of guys in and out of that building. And Aaron Glenn has been a Jet before. What's it been like from the spring and the summer, now transitioning into the season?
Well, Aaron Glenn, like you said, was drafted in the first round by the New York Jets. He started out his scouting career with the Jets, and now his first head coaching job is with the Jets. He knows what it's like to be a Jet, and he is changing the culture. He doesn't mess around. He doesn't mince words. He doesn't, it's his way, and this is how we're going to do it. And the players love him. They respect him. They understand because, like Sauce Gardner says, he was me. He's like, and he did it at a high level. And he was also the guy who came in and they had a terrible first season and they turned it around with Bill Parcells. So he understands like what it is to be a Jet, and you can feel that. You can go into the building, you feel like, hey, listen, this isn't like, oh, you know, we just have to be in games. No, we're going to win games. That's not acceptable. Like, oh, if we don't make the playoffs. No, he's teaching these guys how to win. And as you know, that's important. You guys were part of that, you know, before the Josh Allen. And when you got these players have to learn how to win, and you have to find a coach and a culture in order to do that.
I've been fascinated watching him because it takes me back to 2017 with the Bills. Now, Sean McDermott did not play in the NFL, but he'd coached for a while in the NFL. That 2017 Bills team that he took over was not a great team, but they had some players on that team. They had pretty good players on defense. Mm-hmm. They had LaShawn McCoy in the backfield. They had Tyrod Taylor as the quarterback.
Who, by the way, is a Jets backup quarterback, as you know.
Exactly. And they had a drought of 17 seasons of not making the playoffs. And somehow that team, it wasn't always pretty, and it took right up to the last minute, and they needed help from the Ravens. That team made the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying I think or know or feel like the Jets are going to make it. You never know how it goes in the league, but nobody expected that Bills team to do it. But it started with Sean McDermott and culture, a culture they have built. And then obviously the culture helps when you get Josh Allen. But that feeling of like the ground floor and building something, you must be sensing that in the Jets locker room.
That's exactly, that's exactly what it is. And you're just like, before you're like, Jets are, here we go. They're going to look good like the first quarter and like, oh, here we go. But you saw the mindset change in that, just in this first week, week one against the Steelers. Like the mindset is slowly changing. And again, the Jets have key players. You got Quinnen Williams, you have Sauce Gardner, you have Garrett Wilson, you have, you know, Olu Fashanu, who looks like he might be the guy. You got Will McDonald, you have Jermaine Johnson, you have Javian Sherwood, you have cornerstones, but they've never won before. I mean, that's part of the problem. They've won Quinnen Williams won in college, but I don't know how many games Quinnen Williams actually won in the NFL, but it's not that many if you think about it. So I think those games where the Jets were in last year that they lost by 3 points or they lost by 1 point, you're not going to see that this year. You're going to see them get over that hump because Aaron Glenn, he ain't going to make excuses. It's accountability. point the finger at himself and point the finger at yourself. There's no excuses. You're going to win these games. If not, next man up. He doesn't care. I mean, he truly is. I don't care. We're going to win these games. And if you don't want to be part of me, then go somewhere else.
So I was going to say it this way. What was it like to not have, Aaron Rodgers in the building, yet he was in the building?
Dear God, I'm so glad that chapter has changed.
Yeah.
It's closed. We're done. I don't talk about this man again. We're done. We're done.
Okay.
That's
now let
how
me
I
ask you
feel.
about Aaron Rodgers. First of all, what was it like on Sunday?
It was crazy. I mean, like, can you really? I mean, could you have written a better script for the NFL? I mean, really, like week 1, here we go again. Aaron Rodgers coming in to MetLife Stadium, and then Justin Fields, who was with the Steelers last year, week 1, and it was a good game. I mean, back and forth, but of course, shocking. Aaron Rodgers had to walk away with the win. But at this point, it's almost like, okay, now you can go. You got your revenge on a team that did everything for you. Now let's, I love how he was so like angry and stuff. Like, what did the Jets actually do to you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, they did everything for you. It just didn't work out.
Yeah. So I know you're at the game, right? So on the broadcast, I was watching before we left to go up to the Bills game, and Iron Eagles doing the game. I think it was with JJ Watt.
Yep.
And Rodgers comes out, and there's a lot of boos.
Yes.
And JJ Watt says something like, well, there's a lot of Steelers fans or whatever he was talking about. And then he's like, and also, teams boo the visiting quarterback. And Iron Eagles like, no, they're booing him because of what happened with the Jets, right? It's Jets fans booing him going out on the field, right?
Yes, 100%. 100%. That was the Jets. Jets fans, you know them very well. Do you think they're going to cheer for him when he comes out on that field?
No. And look, like I said, he got the win. Then he's taking his bows afterward and saying, it wasn't about Aaron Glenn. It's about the whole Jets. It's fine for the Jets. I said I was going to ask you about that because we talked a lot about him last year when they played. They got Justin Fields. Third opportunity, though the Pittsburgh one was interesting, but where he started out, he was going to be the guy in Chicago, and then he's there, and now he's with the Jets. What has he been like? I thought he played
phenomenal,
considerably better than I think most people would have thought in the first game.
Especially after watching preseason and training camp, you're like, well, we'll see what we have here. He commanded that offense. I mean, Tanner Engstrom has been phenomenal for him. When you find that guy, like those two, again, it's week 1, as I like to tell people, let's calm down. But just the mixing up of the run game, the passing game, Justin Fields was confident. He was confident. I guess that's the best way to explain it. Like, he commanded that offense. He was confident, and that offense looked really good. I mean, you would think, week 1, a little rusty. We've seen Justin Fields. Let's see what they have here. No, they ran the ball. They threw the ball. He ran the ball. They mixed it up. I mean, it was a legitimate offense working out there.
Yeah, no punts in the first half.
First time since 1991.
Wow, really?
How crazy is that? It's the first time since 1991 that the Jets haven't punted in the first half.
Wow. That's a
you're
lot.
Welcome. You're welcome. Yep.
So his efficiency was off the charts, 10 yards an attempt, 16 to 22. He had the 1 touchdown, 218 yards. They'd sign up for that for 17 weeks. I think that type of play. And he got Garrett Wilson involved right away. And Garrett Wilson
people
had a strong
game. People were like, well, I'm not sure how much of the receivers are going to be involved in this. Right away, like you said, he got in, 33-yard touchdown.
Yeah. And I thought, especially with the injury to Vera Tucker on the offensive line, I thought the offensive line held up pretty well for him. Was that the thought, or was there still some issues you're looking at with the O-line?
I mean, AVT was a huge piece when he went down. I mean, I thought he was playing had one of his best training camps. He was one of, if not the best offensive line. So you lose him the week before. They moved Tippmann over to right guard with Membu, the rookie, going up against TJ Watt and Cam Hayward. That doesn't sound like it's going to be really successful, does it?
No.
But they did a hell of a job. I mean, that O-line, But that's been the talk. You got to build up front, and that's what Aaron's been talking about. And I mean, you have Olu from last year, you have Membu from this year, you got Titman, you got Simpson, and then you have Josh Myers, who's the backup in Green Bay. And Justin has legs he can use. So I think that helps too, having that mobile quarterback back there, having these big guys. You got Breece Hall, who's a heck of a weapon. And then you got the big boy Braylon Allen when he's not around. And then they bring in Mason Taylor. So I think they're protecting Justin, and this line is doing exactly what they need to do for him.
Yeah, you mentioned Breece Hall. The team ran 39 times, 182 yards, and still had, a lot of contributions from the passing game. Is that who they want to be, though, in general, right? Do they want to be a running team and then play off of that for Fields?
100%. They want to be. I'm sorry, my microphone keeps falling. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, hang on. Let me just grab my microphone. I feel like the Jets' fourth quarter and they kicked the 60-yard field goal. Okay, the Steelers did. Hang on a second.
You take your time. We can we'll clip that out and then.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have a clip for it, and they're supposed to be getting me a new one. Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Run game, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Jets want to be that ground and pound team. They don't want to be pretty. They just want to. As Aaron Glenn says, we want to be violent. We want to just be dirty, and we want to just get the job done. And blue collar, like just run the ball and then use their passing game. But I thought they did a really good job of mixing it both up. Like I thought they ran the ball, they threw the ball. Like it was a really well planned offense. But again, I'm excited to see what they do against the Bills.
Yeah.
Week 2, where there's film on them, different defense. Let's see, because week 1. It's exactly like you said. Jets fans would sign up for that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. So you talked about Breece Hall, 19 carries, 107 yards. His last 100-yard game was last year against the Bills. He's had 2 against the Bills in 5 games. So the Bills have gotten to see Breece Hall, the guy Jets fans were hoping he could be on a regular basis. But committing to the run and with his talent ability, he's the featured guy, right? It's still Breece Hall is the featured guy.
Well, Aaron's really wanted. I mean, he's talked this entire time. It's running back by committee. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they want to do. Breece can also catch the ball real well too. So I can see him being able to catch more. Right now, he is the featured guy, but don't be surprised if later in the year you start seeing Braylon Allen more, and you start, because it was running backs by committee. So I think it depends on the game plan, who they're playing against. Obviously, as you said, Breece does real well against that Buffalo defense. And Breece was looking like Breece of before. Like
right.
That, he had that quick step, and he was playing with confidence. Like he was coming up and jumping up, and it was the first time I saw that confidence back in him, because last year you didn't see the confidence as much. This year, and plus he's in contract year. So that makes a big difference too.
Speaking of contract year, he signed a couple of guys, and we're going to get into Sauce too. I always tell, when we talk about the Bills here, I say players in the locker room know who gets paid. They notice who gets paid. Like it is a thing, and they're happy for the other guys, but they want to see. So they're starting to, and they did this year, big off season. Was that both rewarding these guys and sending a bit of a message to, you play that way, we're going to keep you here with the Jets, as opposed to what we've seen, honestly, with teams are going bad, guys want to get out the door. Do you think that starts to change things? Not everybody is, Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner, but if guys play and perform, they're going to get paid, right?
Exactly. And they're the homegrown guys. That's what Aaron Glenn wants to do. You were drafted a Jet, and we want you to stay a Jet. You perform like you said. You perform the way they did. They're the guys that are always out there. They're 4 years. You're going to get paid, and you're going to, if you play like a Jet, you act like a Jet, you're going to get paid. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Like, before the season, let's just take care of this so we don't have to deal with it. And Sauce showed why they paid him. I think allowed DK Metcalf 1 catch. And he was finally been able to travel with guys, because he's been wanting to do that his whole career, but with Saleh and Ulbricht's defense, that's not the way they operated.
Right.
So Sauce now can move around and travel with guys. So I think you're going to see Sauce even step it up a whole nother level now.
You know what's kind of wild about that? You really need your 2 or 3 corner to be ready, because, they're not going to throw at Sauce.
No.
I mean, that's if he's playing the way he seems to have started out this year in this defense, it's great to have that guy, but it just opens up the targets to everybody else. So they got to be ready. How are they in the rest of the secondary? Numbers wise, Rodgers and the Steelers put up, big numbers and scored in the 30s. How were they in the rest of the pass coverage, and what do you think we'll see this week?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'll say the way Sauce said it. It was unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Carter had a bad game, and he's always been on top of it. Tony Adams struggled. There's guy. I mean, don't forget the Jets lost DJ Reed, who was just as good as Sauce. I mean, back last year, 2 straight years, they had 2 solid corners. They brought in Stevens, paid him a lot of money, and he really struggled. And that's who Aaron picked on the entire day. You left Sauce alone, but struggled. So, I mean, like you said, Rodgers threw for 4 TDs and had 73% completion. And that wasn't a lot to DK Metcalf. So you tell me how the rest of the secondary performed.
Yeah.
Which, don't forget, Aaron Glenn plays the secondary. So there's no way in hell Aaron Glenn is going to think this is okay. So I'm going to be quite curious to see how they go up against Josh Allen and your crew.
Yeah. Pass rush wise, or even the defensive line wise, what did you see in week number 1? And, what is there anybody, when you look at their D line, that flashed a little bit, that is somebody that maybe people haven't noticed as much and they'll be looking for Sunday when the Bills go to the Jets?
Well, the D line that's what the Jets defense. I mean, that's been the star of the show, and that's going to be the star of the show. I mean, you've heard of Jermaine Johnson. He came off of his Achilles, and he got, I think, like 4 or 5 quarterback pressures, didn't get a sack. And Quinnen Williams is no secret. Right. Will McDonald, 2 sacks against Rodgers. He's picked right back up where he's left off. I mean, Phillips, he's, like I said, this Jets defensive line is their bread and butter. And it's not as if Aaron Glenn is shy. I mean, they're aggressive and they get after it.
Harrison Phillips is a former Buffalo Bill, was very popular when he was here. And
that's why I said you all know all about Phillips.
Yeah. How's he been so far?
I haven't interviewed him once, but he's been like in the locker room. Guys love him. And he's so good for Quinnen too, because it takes the pressure off for Quinnen Williams. They play off really well of each other. Guys absolutely love him. I've heard players like, my boy Phillips. So he fit in quite nicely with this D line.
So
he said he was shocked though. I remember that. Didn't he say he was a little surprised when he found out?
Yeah.
Right?
That where he ends up. I want to know, I want to bring back to Rodgers only because of an overall vibe in a place.
You got to keep doing that.
Here's what we're saying is you walk in the Bills and the locker room and the whole place. I mean, Josh Allen kind of sets a tone in that place. It wasn't him in the beginning. I mean, it's McDermott, obviously. It's the way the Bills operate. But the way Josh Allen is with his teammates, guys on offense, his O-line, he's got his handshakes, the whole thing. I think the vibe was a certain way with Rodgers. He's a different personality. I'm not saying this for Justin Fields to pick it up, because that would be a lot coming in a new team. He's still a relatively young player. Who sets the tone now for the Jets, player-wise?
Because I was going to say Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Yes.
But player-wise, you got the Quinnen Williams, who's been there. You got the Garrett Wilson over on offense that got paid, but you also got the John Simpson. You saw John Simpson, what he did when Jalen Ramsey went after his quarterback. No, you don't do that. I mean, dumb penalty, but I feel you can kind of write that off a little bit. But I think a guy like Quinnen Williams on defense, Jermaine Johnson, he was they missed him so much last year and towards Achilles, but they also missed his leadership on the field. I don't think he got enough credit for what he does on the field. He's back. There's a good group of guys that I feel like I tell you this all the time. There's such a good locker room, but now they have that leader in Aaron Glenn that shows them, let's take this next step up. This is what we're going to do. And if you don't step up and be who you need to be, then there's the door. We got someone else. And that's why Aaron Glenn is. He is no nonsense.
And he's got that
swag,
leeway, but he also has the leeway now, right? You come in, say, this is what I'm going to do. And I think everybody knows it right away. I mean,
Yep.
when you have a coach at the end, like Saleh was, he doesn't have that. He's trying to hold on to it, and he's going to go. And that's what ends up happening. But Aaron Glenn, as a Jet, as a guy they signed, that went out to get from a successful program with the Lions, and then he comes in. So, it's pro sports. It's not always my way or the highway, but it's my way, right? If you're that right head coach. I'm just always curious about that because I look at the Jets and I think, it's not always been talent. It's been that culture. It's been that vibe. The loss in the opening game is tough, but they showed a lot around. I want to know what that crowd was like, regardless of the Rodgers part, just in general, and what the fan base has been like giving a guy who's still trying to end this drought, though he just came in, trying to end that and build up this team. What's the fan base's thoughts on Glenn in general, and what do you think it'll be as the year goes on?
I go back to he was a Jet. He
Yeah.
knows what it's like to be. And I think the fans embrace that. Like, oh, he gets it. He understands. He's one of us. Like, he's going to. And usually by the fourth quarter, the crowds kind of thin out. Didn't happen this time. Like, the crowd was there and they were cheering. And I just think, again, the outcome wasn't what they wanted. And Aaron Glenn, we don't have moral victories. We should have won that game. That's how Aaron Glenn is. Yeah, sure, we played better. The offense looked good. The defense struggled. But there is no moral victories. No, that's bullcrap. But I think the fans sense that optimism. Like, oh, okay. Like, they're cautiously optimistic because they saw an offense that they haven't seen in a long time. And they saw a coach who's aggressive, and they saw a coach who's like, all right, let's get this shit done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They saw a coach that called out the fumbles is not acceptable. The defense, no, that's not okay. Like, they saw that and heard that.
Yeah. The Xavier Gibson fumble.
The Bills know him very well.
Yes, ran the punt back for the touchdown to win that game a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But that was tough, though, because, they've done so many things well, and then to give up the ball and give up the touchdown.
Especially him. He's such a great guy.
Yeah. But here's the case. Like, when he says not acceptable, like, is he back out returning kicks this week? Is that the way he would operate?
I personally, I don't expect to see him out returning kicks this week against the Bills. I mean, some people are like, he needs to be cut. I'm like, all right, guys, come on. People make mistakes. Like, let's chill out. And Xavier Gibson stood in front of his locker and took full accountability. Like, you just want to go and hug him as mom. I just was like, oh, it's okay. We all make mistakes. But I don't know. I think he's going to have to earn that trust and earn that back because AG does not mess around. Sorry. I can't trust you back there. You popped up the game.
He's got a big personality. He also was with Dan Campbell.
Yes.
So has he talked about what it was like and an influence there? Obviously he had Bill Parcells, who was sort of in a different way Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell, but they're all kind of connected there because they all have worked together.
And Sean Payton down in the Saints.
Yes. So is he talked about his influences as a head coach and who it is?
He has. He says a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think Parcells was the guy who really influenced him, but he doesn't necessarily he doesn't want to be someone else. He makes it clear, I am Aaron Glenn. I take all these pieces of little coaches, but don't compare me to anybody because this is who I am going to be. He does talk about it. He's, like I said, this is his dream job. Like, how many people get to literally pick your dream job? And this is exactly where he wants to be. This is how he wanted to do it. I mean, and he started he worked his way up and has been influenced by so many different people. But again, I think Bill Parcells just kind of how he runs things. It's very Bill Parcellish. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know Dan Campbell that well. I've never seen him, but I would say that's been his greatest influence.
Yeah. Yeah. Because look, he took over a Lions team that was a mess, really, and had not as poor of a history in total recent years because, they had some pretty good players. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't do anything, and he's rebuilt that entire thing, and Aaron Glenn was all there for him. All right, so Bills fans will make the trip. They will come down to
You guys really do.
Yeah. So what's the atmosphere going to be like? I know it's early, and I know they had a good, though disappointing ending to the game. If you're a Bills fan showing up, what should you expect to see and hear from Jets fans?
Exactly what you always hear on week 2 when you're playing the Bills.
Yeah.
There, but a little more optimism and a little more, yeah, okay. I mean, the Bills and the Jets games have been very, very, except that the last time they played down at your place,
Yeah.
but that season was pretty much over for the Jets. It they always play close. I mean, the Jets I think have won 2 of the last 3. Don't quote
Hmm.
me. I mean, so and Jets fans feel like, you know what? We're doing what you guys did. Like we saw what you did in 2017. Guess what? That's what we're going to do right now. We're trying to flip the switch. And I mean, as you see, it doesn't look like Miami's going to be that
Oof.
great. And
No.
the Patriots. So I mean, in order to be the best, they know they have to beat the best, and that right now belongs to the Bills. So I think Jets fans are like, you know what? We're going to come in here. We're going to be loud and proud. And but again, it's going to be a typical Bills Jets fans. You know that.
Yeah, because I would say on the field, when you hear Deion Dawkins of the Bills, he's very vocal about it. He'll talk about it this week. He's got some issues with some Jets in the past, and I think he still carries that on. It's
Mhm.
kind of funny when you see that. It's less about like people would think it's the Dolphins or it's the Patriots, but it really was the Jets, and it spilled out on the field. But I think some of that comes from the fact that even though the Bills were the better team most of the time, the Jets were right there with them. I mean, it's been hard for the Bills to put them away. And I would think if I'm the Jets this week, I'm looking at it like why not us in this case?
Exactly, and that's just it. Like you said, yeah, the Bills dominate the AFC East for the last, but the Miami Dolphins have swept the Jets a lot more than the Bills have. The
Yeah.
Patriots, the same thing. I mean, so the Jets and the Bills, for some reason, the Jets always it always comes down to those last plays, and a lot
Yeah.
of times, I mean, again, last December it was disastrous for
Yeah.
the Jets and in Buffalo. But like I said, when was the last time the Bills won at MetLife Stadium?
They won oh, the game
I think
Rodgers
it's the
threw the pass and receiver fell. Bills picked it off right at the end. 2 years. Wait a minute.
no, it had to have been last year. Was it
Last
last?
year.
Oh,
Yes, last year. Yes, yes.
oh, you
And
did sweep. You swept the
that's
Jets
right.
last year. That's right.
Last
That's
year.
right. Well,
A
see, I'm getting all confused. But the
That's
year
it.
before they split, and then the year before they
Before
had
they
split.
split. Yep.
Yes, yes, you're
Yes.
right. You're right.
Yes. So,
Oh, that's right,
yes.
because Rodgers came in to close out games, and
And it was right after that game that the Jets traded for Devontae Adams, or
yes,
traded for, signed him, and then the
yes.
Bills, yeah, signed Amari Cooper right after that. And
How'd that work out for us, and how did that work out for the Jets, and how'd that work out for the Bills?
neither one, right? Neither one really did anything.
Yeah.
And now Amari Cooper has retired. All right. I always ask this for the Jets. I know it's week 2. By the way, before I get to that, did you get a chance to see the Bills and the Ravens? And if so, what did
Oh
you
my
think about?
gosh, yes. Crazy. Well, it's funny. So I was watching the game and I fell, excuse me, but I fell asleep a little in the third quarter. And my husband's like, Janae, you don't understand. And at that point, I was like, oh, the Bills are done. I'm like, oh, this is great. At least every AFC East team's going to go 0-4 for week 1. Like, I'm like, all right, so that's going to be good for the Jets, whatever.
Right.
So Scott's like, Janae, you got to get up and watch this game. Like, the Bills are coming back. Like, Derrick Henry just fumbled. I'm like, what? No. And then
Yeah.
come to the fourth quarter, and then I fell back asleep, kind of, because I don't know what the score was at that. What was it at the end of the third?
Oh, the end of the third. Well, they were down 15. So I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
the exact score. Yeah.
So maybe he woke me up at the beginning of the fourth. That's what it was. I think he woke me up he's like, you've got to watch this. And I kind of was, he's like, get up and watch this game. So I got up. I was like, oh my God, they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Uh, it was wild.
Crazy.
So you fell asleep. So did the
I did fall
Ravens
asleep.
a
Well,
little bit, right? At the end of that
yeah, they
game.
got a little, that play call was a little suspect. And
Yeah.
I felt like they're like, oh,
Honestly,
we won this game. We're done. We're good.
Josh Allen had not had, even though they had beaten the Ravens, had not had great games against the Ravens offensively. I mean, he beat them in the playoffs and all. And so he decided he threw for 251 yards in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah.
So
I
that
mean,
was that was pretty good.
I think he pretty much was like, well, who's the MVP?
Yeah, and he went out and won. So my question to you is, if you're the Jets, and I know it's early with a different group and everything, what would you say the game plan would be to knock off the Bills? What is their, if they said, this is the way we want to do it, what do you think they would do?
I think pretty much the game plan they had against the Steelers, except can't make stupid mistakes, run the ball, and force the Bills to make mistakes. And that secondary, Josh Allen, you can't let him out. You can't let Josh Allen win the game. That's just it. You cannot let Josh Allen win the game. You got to contain him, and that D-line has to. D-line's got to get to him and razzle him and get to him early and often.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the
And
plan.
stop making mistakes. They can't make any mistakes because Josh Allen and those guys Bills pounce on mistakes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that happens coming up on Sunday. It's always fun when the Bills and the Jets get together, and we'll see what we see.
My son's coming to his first ever football game on Sunday.
There it is. He's going to get a chance to see the MVP of the league try to beat back the Jets. All right, tell people, because here we get SNY. Let people know what they can see from your coverage of the Jets.
Thursday night, me and Bart Scott have a little show called Jets Game Plan. We break down the Jets-Bills game every Thursday night at 6:30. Then pregame, 12 o'clock, and then postgame after the game. So
that's why you're an Emmy nominee, right?
I am. Thank you. Look at you throwing that in there, Mike. But so you got some Emmy nominees at your place too, my friend.
Yeah, Jenna Cottrell's up for an Emmy too. So look at this. You guys are crushing it. That's the way it goes. This is great. I will see you down at the game. We're looking forward to it. And as always, you are one of our favorite guests for the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. So we appreciate you coming on.
Studio looks great. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to get in that studio.
Wouldn't that be it? Come on down. Come on down. You're welcome anytime. All right. Jeane Coakley from SNY covers the Jets. She has coverage. You heard where you can hear all of her coverage leading up to the Jets, but we thank everybody for being with us. And thank you, as always, for being part of the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We are in the Connors and Ferris studio. Podcast coming up on Thursday. Make sure you come back with us. That'll do it for our entire team. For Dan and Jenna, I'm Mike Catalana. Thanks for watching Buffalo Plus. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you the next time on Buffalo Plus.